we must follow what we love. We must follow what we want. To me, what I love and what I want is the same, right? What I want, what I love, what makes me feel good, what I enjoy, what I genuinely enjoy, what brings me peace, what brings me this connectedness with life. To what I am is following that thing that I just want to do. However silly, however crazy might sound, whatever it is, just without judging it. Just be it. What do you want? What is that? What is it that you want? Because when you truly, truly follow it, what is this feeling that I'm feeling? What is it? When we follow what we truly, truly want, there's power. There is spirit moving through that. There's something alive moving through that. There's something, right? There's. Wow, I have no words. That's how limited my vocabularies are. See, fuck language. Fuck communicating through words. Communicate through energy, because that's the first language. And that language communicates with me through wanting. There's always something that I want. Always. Not in a sense of this buying and selling feeling. I feel like they even some words have been brainwashed. Like their true definition has been brainwashed, right? Like, what is wanting means? What is selfish means? What is selfless means? I'm telling you, some words are tampered with. But what moves life? Ask yourself, what moves life? I say music. I say art. Okay? Now, as a regular person, especially you, the regular person that is working the 8 to 5, that is hating, that is not, let's say, not enjoying his life. Can you or have you ever driven your car without a music? It's impossible, right? See how quick I responded? Right? I was realizing that yesterday, how I was not listening to anything in my car. I went out. I had some errands to do. But so think of musicians. How did they become musicians? Like, I can speak for everyone in this generation when I say music is like air for us, right? Especially in this generation, and especially if you live in America. Music is like air. So, where do musicians come from? They come from the same ground, the same place. They eat what we eat. They have the same 24 hours. They breathe the same air. What makes them different than us? They didn't give up on that voice within them. They continue to listen to that voice that speaks to them. That's the difference between us and them. That's the difference between a person that is genuinely happy. Because a lot of people confuse riches. That's also another word that was right tampered with. When you think of riches, it's Maserati and penthouses for most people, right? But as if it has a mouth to give you affirmations and to breathe life. You breathe life to the mansion. You breathe life. See, God is so genius. He created like that so you won't be slaved by the things that you create. Even through your delusions, you're not happy. That's why, like, you stay away from your true selves. That's why you're addicted externally. You require something to escape this true voice that speaks to you within yourself. The more you do that, the more dissatisfied you become, the more slave you become, right? And it shows. That's why that's why society makes sense to you, or that's why you follow the pattern and you become the pattern, right? That's like the only thing that is making sense to me, especially when I see the difference between how people aging. It's just the second fascination thing in my life next to death. Death is like, it can come at any time. It comes as a baby, it comes for the baby, it comes for the unborn, it comes for the any age, any time, at any time. I swear it's like a fucking dope. It's cocaine. When you start to think like that, that's it, right? You don't need cocaine. That's cocaine. I swear. I don't know if you ever try that. I don't recommend it, but that's the feeling. It's just basically like drinking 10 Red Bull or any energy drink, basically. Anything that makes you hyper. How sensitive you are. Even coffee does it for me right now. I can't have Starbucks anymore. Right? I miss roast my own coffee. I guess it's like more and more I'm going back to my roots, right? I come from a place where coffee was invented, or coffee inventors. But anyways, let's get back to the point. This screen that I am watching, it's like literally, this is my backyard. This is gonna be my backyard. Oh my gosh, I saw my girl, I love her so much, Sofia de Garcia. What is that thing where they show us around their house? I'm in love with their house. So like what I'm watching right now, it's so gardeny, and I'm like laying in the middle of that grass, in the middle of the trees. I'm just playing around, like I'm just saying whatever. But there's a point that I need to make, because I was about to cry. I think the reason why the universe is trying to calm me down when I was drawn to opening this, because I thought about musicians and I was like, can you think about living a life without musicians? I was about to come out here as Les Brown or like that Tony Robinson energy. And every day I am learning that I like the feeling of just calm. I just want to be genuinely good. Just genuinely good. I don't even want to be happy, because being happy means being sad, because how much excitement comes is like how much you're gonna go down. I just want to live a balanced life. And when I say I don't want to be happy, it's like coming from, it's like, what phase, like I don't even know what phases me at this point, right? Because I'm a fashion designer, you guys, and I'm a writer, so I live on that high frequency, high vibing frequency. There isn't anything that amuses me more than nature, and more than thinking for myself. There isn't anything that is man-made except architectures, right? They're like my best friends, right? I'm a fashion designer, and they create houses. I love architecture, right? What is life other than that? It's all about knowing your type, your style in life. What kind of lifestyle brings you that frequency? What kind of which route connects you to that frequency? Because it's different for all of us. That's what makes us beautiful. I met people that don't give a fuck about flowers, right? And then just a couple of weeks ago, I found out, yo, I'm actually like, I'm also not like a flower freak. I like to look at it. I don't want to like, you know, cut it from its branch and then just bring it into the house. I'm not that type. Or like, I'm also not like, oh, let me smell you type. I just want to look at it. I care about the color, the concept, because to me it's all about seeing colors. That's all I care about, right? So I like to garden. I'm obsessed about garden. But last week I found out, like, I was gravitated to these yellow flowers called daffodil something field, right? I smelled it. It was like I was possessed. I swear I was hypnotized by it. I kept smelling it until it was dead, even after I brought it home. Now I'm a person that buys flower, I guess. Well, it's just to help to expedite my garden, because I still haven't went out to buy some. And why am I talking about that right now? Yeah, it's in connection. I guess it's a segue. It's like a segue. It's in connection about what I want. That's what I want. That's what brings me life. That's what brings me life, yeah. To think about what I want. To follow what I want. When I am physically sitting in that garden, well, we're gonna know what we're gonna talk about, and we're gonna know what we're gonna want when we get there, right? But right now, this is where we're at. Respect your now, where you're at. That's all that matters, because that's where you give birth to what you want, and what you want is needed by the world. Again, going back to the musician, can you imagine a life without Bob Marley? It's like, oh my god, right? Imagine if Bob Marley given for his reality, because he came from the gutter, just like worse than some people, right? When I look at, first of all, looking at creation, right? 90% of the time it's created by one person, right? Ideas don't come for a group. They come for the one that's ready, right? Like, they come individually. What is your interests? And then you get to create that. And then when we look at all creation in the world that you get to use today, to you, the regular person, right? That's the bed that I'm sitting on. Every single thing that we use, it was created. It was first a thought, imagination in someone's mind. It came as a thought, and that person wanted it and created it. And then look, now the rest of the world use it. The plane, the car, the fork, the bed, whatever it is that you use on a daily basis, or as far as the plane goes, right? So then life must be about following what we want then. Because what I want comes from a place that's intangible. I can't quite explain it, right? Where does it come from? Where does idea come from? Why do I want what I want, even? To go a little further, right? Like, why? How come I'm interested in this? How come this person is interested in that? That's like the drive for me as a young child. Why do adults act the way they do? Like, why do they act a certain way in front of this person and another way in front of that person? I believe now I understand why I don't have a great relationship with my mother, because I believe I gave her a hard time. I was a very, very curious and very mature child. Now I think about it, I bet I must have given her, like, I must have put her, like, her mind, like I fucked with her psyche, because when you speak truth, you fuck with the psyche. That's why what was my favorite song by Beyonce? Like, I'm a grown woman, right? When I speak, they listen to me when I talk, because I am pretending. When you speak your truth, you connect with the truth that reside in that person. That person doesn't even have to be ready. Right? You just like, oh, if you're in my presence, yes, the universe is gonna use me to make a difference in your life. I know nobody that I've ever met looked at me as their equal. They try, but I always find out through the messages. If you just listen to them. If you just listen, people tell you who they are. You just listen. It's all about investing a little bit more in energy. That's why self-awareness. means. It's that's what makes you great. What makes you great? To live a quality life, to lead a quality life that comes from being connected to where you're at. Where you're at matters. Where you're at, you are where you're at because you are where you need to be. Every time and every moment. When I am where I'm meant to be, I'm doing what I am meant to be doing. That was orchestrated by the greater power that created me. That I can't quite understand every time. But I know it knows more than me and it's always ahead of me. So my job must be to follow it. Anything else don't make sense, because anything else then puts me in a position of this like a feeling of maid or slave, right? Because I'm following what another man created, right? Like there must be a reason why I was created with this mentality in this generation. Because in this generation, it's all about mind game. It's all about how strong you are going to be for yourself. How strong are you going to stand firm for you? That's all. What do you want? Because your drive can only come from what you want. And when you're not living what you want, you fall for the trap of working mentality. And that's it. It's called life. 65 comes, retire. Everything's just perfect portfolio. It's perfect. If you're going to buy it, it's out there. Everything is for sale. Everything is out for sale. Everything. What you're willing to buy. The most expensive gift gifted to us by our creator for free, but we don't use it. There you go. I'm tearing up. I hate doing this because then my voice is gonna like, I don't know, I kept seeing in my mind right now in this beautiful garden, like I'm sitting with Michelle Obama and like J. Cole, and it's like I'm sitting with the people that I admire. Like, how are you gonna feel? Because it's all about winning that feeling, that feeling inside of you. That's it. You are the devil and the God. Are you gonna accept the God version of you? Because that's the winner voice. Are you comfortable of embodying your true self? I don't know why, but it poked me, like I feel like it went through my belly button and it came out of my lower back when I don't know where, but I caught a glimpse of Angelina Jolie. Of course I'm gonna watch it. The universe speaks to you through your interest always. It knows how to grasp your attention more than anything, more than anybody, because he's the creator of everything, right? And she said, when I see a person that can't be themselves, makes me very uncomfortable. And that's what I work towards for, because that was taken away from me, right? The birth of this, what you're looking at today, the derive came from me being told to be a certain way from the moment I was able to communicate, right? Be like this, be like that, wear this, wear that, eat this, don't eat that, say this, don't say that, think this, don't think that. Literally, think this, don't think that, ask this, don't ask that, pray for this, don't pray for that. What? All I asked was, how come there are poor people, right? I was like, the beggars, they can't afford to buy the Bible, and so they don't know the truth. And how is it fair that they go to hell? Because I was told, right, I'm a clean sheet of paper, right, in the Sunday school. That was the first scribble that was written in me, right? You have to be only from my church to get to heaven. You have to be born again. To me, literally, I thought born again was just like how they taught us. It's like you have to be baptized. Okay, what is baptism? Oh, there's a water filled in a tank, and then a preacher would hold, and then the whole process. So I thought literally you have to go through that process as a person, right? The preacher had to, dump you in the water and bring you back out, and then you get struck. And then when you look at the sky, whatever connection, that's what I calculated in my little mind. What do you expect me to do. That's what I used to think in Sunday school, right? That was like before the age I was ready to do the baptism, right? That's how I grew up. You look up the sky, like, you know, the preacher would dump you, and then like when it brings you back up and you're like between life and death because the water is suffocating, you look at the sky, then that's when God is gonna find you, and then you become alive. So to me, if you make it out of that water, you are born again, because you died because the water suffocates you. Man, no wonder I'm a fucking novel writer. No wonder Alice in Wonderland is my favorite movie, right? No wonder The Giver is my favorite movie. No wonder I'm a fan of the witches and the vampires and Harry Potter, right? No wonder I'm obsessed with the frequency of J.K. Rowling. I just want to be attached for as long as I was introduced to Harry Potter. I was obsessed after learning about J.K. Rowling, right? Rowling. And I was like, universe, that's it. Give me a story. I just want one story. It's just one story. Right, like the vampire movie, like Saga. Like, we just want to write, just like the Eclipse, right? Like just a set, like 2 sets, like Harry Potter, or like how the Eclipse were, like, and then live in the garden in my castle, wearing my gowns. I'm like into the royal, back in the royal days, like the king and queens. I want to wear kimonos. Is it called kimonos, if I'm not mistaken, in Japan, right? I have a thing for that design. I just want to wear that and walk barefoot all day, every day. Man, when I read The Green Lights by Matthew McConaughey, I was like, oh my god, we're twins. I loved him even more. I fell in love with him even more. We all love him, right? But reading his book was just so many lessons that I learned. I enjoyed it. It was like watching my favorite movie. I read it twice, and I don't do that. But yeah, following what you want, that's where you're gonna find life, right? How silly it might sound when I tell my mom my job is to tell the truth, to share what I've learned for the last 15 years since I was awakened to it at age 22. Nothing was the same for me when I celebrated my 22nd birthday, and then my 23rd birthday, it locked it. Perhaps it has something to do, going back to Miami for spring break. My friends being 3-4 years older than me my whole life. That was the last spring break, right? I've been celebrating spring break with them since I was basically in high school, I believe, right? And it continued. But you see, it helped me to see being around them, when they were like a full-time college students, being around them. And why? Because I could never be fake for how I feel. I think that's what led me to who I am today, to where I'm at today. I could never ignore. Because I'm just like, why do I feel what I feel? And I found myself interesting than my surrounding, to be honest with you. Because I looked at my surrounding, it's like, especially like after some time, after like mid-20s, people are like repeating the same stories. What? It became, listen, because I guess I listened too hard, but I listened to myself the same way I listen to others, right? I paid attention, and I started catching people like, either, let's just say it was boring for me. So I continued to find my own conversations interesting than my experience, I guess, so to speak. Whether it was a boyfriend, my best friends, my little group. I always had a group, and I was always the leader of the group. And here comes 20s, and right, like I said, when spring break stopped, I started seeing where people are like falling. I felt like this is a waste. You are a waste. Okay, he's a waste. She's a waste. You're definitely a waste. It's like, that was judgmental, judging. Yes, I'm not proud of it, but See, I was brought up as a Christian. You have to understand. I grew up in a church. If you're not from our church, it's like you're going to hell mentality, right? It's almost like being in a cult. It was after my move in Vegas in 2019. It's like 2020 was like waiting for me to mold me. I tell you, right? Like 2019. Here comes 2019, the same month I was promoted. I got fired in February, and then here comes my dream job opportunity. The universe knew nothing was going to stop me. I needed that fuel. I needed that drive. I needed to stop thinking for a second, right? I got fired. Okay, what the fuck else there? And even the reason why I got fired, I literally called out. I woke up, I looked at the window, I saw a little bit of snow on the ground. I said, fuck that. I told her, you know what? I don't feel good. I have a headache and there's snow. I can't drive in this weather. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to call out. And guess what? The snow that I saw to my window, that was just from the pavement, from the neighborhood. Like, you know, like, what is it? It's not a place where too many foot is exposed for it. But there wasn't actually snow on the road. You see, this was like a couple of weeks ago after I was promoted. Every time there's a promotion, it makes me depressed. This was the reason to connect it that actually helped me to decide to move back, to quit my job at Wells Fargo. 4 p.m. the bank was getting ready to close. I was like, couldn't breathe. She's like, all right, just write something. Write a note that you want to quit. I was like, I have to go right now. Like, here, I gotta go. So and so day, I hereby give my notice today. Da 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 da. Whew. Oh my God, walking out of that bank before it was closed, there was like minutes before it was closed, there was something. I can feel all the co-workers' energy, everyone that I knew, like in that bank, everything that was associated to that bank, just in my past, just like, whew, driving away. There was something. That was, and then my first manifestation happened after that, moving back to where I used to live in Ohio, and, you know, like getting a job in the first week after moving back and living exactly where I wanted to live, in the same townhouse, in front of the same park, the same neighborhood, right? Following what I want. Why did I mention that? It's okay. No need to worry. It will come back. Ooh, I haven't felt this irregular heartbeat. Where did you come from? You guys, I don't know why Obama has been on my horizon. It's fucking crazy. I have Becoming on my coffee table since 2020. I haven't finished reading it, but it was like, it's like reading my favorite novel. The way it was written, it said it was adapted for young readers. I love how Michelle Obama is all about the youngins. It reminds me of my mom as a child growing up. She used to have a heart for the youngins. She used to be the leader of the prayer group for the youngins. They used to have a prayer group for fathers, mothers, children, and then the youngins, right? The in-betweens. The ones that like in their transitioning from teens to 20s. I don't know. She used to have a special heart for a place in her heart. And I don't know. It reminds me of Michelle Obama. Reminds me of that, and it reminds me of myself. I'm all about the youngins, right? That's what I used to be. That was my first dream. Mrs. Scott, shout out to you if you're listening to my English teacher. Teachers are treasure for the world. I don't know why they don't get paid well. Firefighters are literally earth angels. I don't know why they don't. It's like nothing makes sense, but it's supposed to be like that. You're supposed, because it's like a puzzle that we are here to organize, because the ones before us did their best. Everyone is doing the best on the level of mentality, but guess what? History has been repeating itself, but we live in a different decade now. We are here to rearrange the pieces of the puzzles so we can help planet Earth before it fucking blows us up. LA fire, what does that tell you? 2025 has like it hit strong. February was long, January was long. Like pay attention, what's happening? Individual evolution is needed. That was my favorite subject. Behavior analysis was my favorite class from my psychology student journey as a graduate, right? But following what we want. Following what we want. Oh, thank God these commercials are short. It was about to distract me. I truly feel like I am inside this garden. It feels so good. Following what you want, no matter how silly it sounded from my mother when I said, I'm here to share. What do you mean? But then guess what? She couldn't get to me because I came to my senses through studying Les Brown. Right? He wanted to be just like Jim Rohn. No, was it Jim Rohn? I'm sorry. A person that was in special aid, a person that was considered to be mentally challenged, became the world's leader, the greatest leader in the motivational speaker. That's what we needed. We didn't know. That was the fertilizer for our mental growth. We needed motivational speakers. We needed people like me that just sits and think for themselves. They were called philosophers. That's why I named this channel, because it's not just me. It's a lot of us out there. We need to normalize this way of living. I want teenagers to understand. I want parents to understand. Start cultivating individualism. We are here to be as different as our faces. He created us with different, unique interests for a reason. Stop making your child believe that they are part of you. They're not. You are just used as a reproduction, just like you used your parents. Where are your parents? Where's your relationship with your parents? Since we are living in a generation of reproduction, since that is the most popular trend right now, can we at least do it right? Right? Invest in your children. Study them. Let them be individual. If you can't afford a small backyard for the child to go be connected to nature, I'm not saying leave the city. You just give birth to your first child. I'm team city too. But she needs to have her own room. You need to be close to where there is access to a park, because children, you need connection to nature. That's how you cultivate humanity, a whole human, a healthy human. That's the only way we can help planet Earth. Again, going back to LA fire. It's because we lost our connection, this deep connection with planet Earth. That's why this is happening. And it's scary to follow what you want. Trust me, it is. It's very scary. Because you're different and you have been taught to conform. You have been practiced to be just like everyone else. To follow this individualism is like, what? But guess what? That was our truth. That is the road. But the ones before us, okay, maybe they were afraid of the acceleration of the movement. And if you allow a man to be free, woo, it's too much creation happening at once. They saw how creation happened, so maybe they thought it was dangerous. All right, let them, all right, just control them a little bit. They did their best. Can we just move on? But okay, I've arrived. Here's where I'm at. I must have a problem. You must have your own life's philosophy. You must have a problem with the way the world's going. If not, you're not thinking for yourself. If not, you're just part of the sheep. You're just following this pattern. School, work, eat, produce, mortgage, retire, vacation, die. Like I said, it's a perfect portfolio out there for whomever to buy it. It's always something for sale. Everything is out there for sale. The universe believes in variety. God is all about the will. He created enough flowers for for you to stop and smell the garden. God created enough examples for you to battle out life. Enough. But we refuse to look up. God created us with 2 legs so we can fucking look up and understand we're different and get connected to our true selves. I love that example. Shout out to Dr. Rodas. Dr. Rodas. Sorry, I don't know his last name. You can find his books about numerology, numbers, and connection, the code to life. He's like the Da Vinci of the Ethiopian version of Da Vinci, basically. To me, I'm so proud of him. I'm so proud that I'm from the same country. That's the bloodline that I'm talking about. Those are the real Ethiopians I'm talking about. Right? The different ones, the royal blood, baby. The Jagnito ones, the Araditi ones. Oh shit, where you going? The fuck am I channeling right now? But yeah, again, following what you want, because that's where the secret is. When you truly follow what you want, you start to understand how different you are. It teaches you how different you are. So when you start, the more you understand yourself, it's all about know thyself, right? Boom. The more you understand. Like, literally, if you ask me right now, okay, you got a psychology degree, Sion, your whole life you've been talking about this, now you finally got the degree. What is psychology? What is psychology is basically the study of self to me. Like, there was no way that things like this weren't going to happen through me. There was no way that I was not going to be the extraordinary self that I am, version of me. There was no way that it was designed for me to go back to school in my late 20s. Oh, going back to 2019 was already preparing me for 2020, right? I was going to psychics and doing like all these Reiki healings. I don't even know where all this information coming from. Like, I just arrived in a new city. I'm in Las Vegas. I don't know if I mentioned that or not. Drove for 2 days. Oh yeah, like got fired the same month that I got promoted. I've shared the reason, right? So silly. It was the end of February. The flight attendant, my dream job opportunity showed up. The universe know that I was not going to. And it's like, this is how you know when you're so excited and like I was so desperate to be a flight attendant, right? I heard what I wanted to hear. Or I don't know, the recruiter really did something wrong. Like, the universe did it on purpose. That she knew that I misunderstood the conversation, but she led me on. Right? I took it as it was a guaranteed job, but I was required to relocate to Las Vegas because it was based in Las Vegas. That's how I took it. Right? First, the offer came for Portland base, and they wanted me to fly myself out there. And I told her, you know what? For something that is not guaranteed, for just a group interview, I'm not in a position to fly myself out there unless you guys provide transportation like the rest of other like main lines. I expected if you're an airline company, you should fly a fucking candidates or a potential candidate to the facility. Like, what the fuck? That's the least you can do. But so like I told her that, and she was like, okay, right? And then she was like, but actually, well, I told her like, if it's but please, I'm in a position, I'm in the process of moving to Las Vegas. I don't even know why I said that, but I'm in the process of moving to Las Vegas. If you have a base in Las Vegas. She's like, we actually do. This was Sun Country. I actually have an upcoming, if you're interested in, did they contact me after, or was it in the same conversation? I can't even tell you. But long story short, we talked about Vegas. She put me in. I'm ready to, like, I packed up my shit, drove for 2 days from Columbus, Ohio to Las Vegas. Who does that? Females don't do that. Like, I wouldn't even done that, like, if it wasn't in the right timing. Because like I said, like, I watch horror movies. That was, like, my favorite thing. It relaxes me. The type of movies that I watch, my friends didn't watch. Literally, I remember in high school, we would skip. I only hanged out with them when we skipped school. If we're going to the movies. They used to drop me off at the library. They used to think I was so weird. But to me, to be in the library, to just read, like, to read a book in those aisles, to just sit because like those big libraries, nobody would bother you, right? I just loved it because school library, like, hey, you gotta be in class, right? So I used to, even then, like, look at me, like, look how different, like, look how following what you want makes you unique, and the world appreciates unique. You cannot help it. You are connected to greatness, your true self. It doesn't matter if you're living a shitty ass life, you cannot help to appreciate Beyonce. You cannot help to love and adore the people that you adore. You have people that you adore because you cannot help it to fall in love with them, because they are giving you, showing you the example, the perfect example, by living it, the life that you want. There's this thing called Rihanna that exists in my generation. So, hey, that's enough motivation for me, baby. Take it as you want. For you, Beyonce is a singer. To me, Beyonce is a fucking multivitamin. Lil Wayne is a multivitamin to me. Like, it's all about how you translate words and things. You place it how you want. Just because you tell me, what was it, Will Smith that said, if you believe 2 + 2 is 4, it's like, yeah, but I can believe otherwise. Yes, I come to earth where things are created. Okay, I see, I take that, okay. What was my favorite song? I came, I saw, I took what's mine and took some more, right? I can't, what was it? Oh my god, I can't believe, alright, that's like, what the fuck, the original especially, it was my favorite song. I can't believe I can't think of the lyrics right now. I came, I saw, I swear to God, the first time I heard that song, I was like, that was me. Since childhood, I'm just observing, and like, like, why do adults act like the way you do? It didn't make sense to me why I have to be a certain way in front of this person, and I have to be a certain way in this. Why are they so fucking fake? Right? That's how, like, I must have troubled my mother, like, right? I must have talked to her, like, because they were like, and then they were like, the devil is like testing her. You know, right? They had to do a gathering prayer for me and shit. They were like, this child is troubled because the questions they couldn't answer, they couldn't comprehend, but they also see truth. You cannot help it when truth speaks. You hear, you cannot help it, you connect to it. There's frequency in words. It's the lacking of understanding what we are that fucking neglect us, the understanding of how special, how amazing, how beautiful, how great, how loving we are. And we were meant to be existing in that frequency. We should not require anything externally. All that we require was given to us freely. So when they say to me, when I hear the best thing in lives are free, yes, now I learn it's my mental faculties. But I've always known it was my health, right? Nothing comes before my health. If you have health problem, you only have one problem. You're done. Nothing else matters. The car not running, the call outs, the job, the boss, you don't give a fuck about anything but your health. So the best things in life are free. You are given a working, healthy, clean organs. But you do what you decide, what you choose to do with it. Right? So the questions that I was asking, right? Like, I confronted them. It's like, how do you mean? What kind of God allows these people? Because living in the third world, right? Coming from a third world, it's like homeless people is a lot more popular than in America. They're very visible, right? So it bothered me. To me, as a child, I was already emotionally disturbed because I did not know because I was born as an empath. Now I know. I felt everything. You see? So seeing a grandmother and a little kid on the streets. Let me actually share a fun story. Right? On my way to school, I started giving my lunch on my way to school. And these older lady and like a little kid started depending on me. She started waiting for me, bruh. Right? So on my way to school, I started giving my food. So although I went to school with kids my whole life in Ethiopia growing up, I grew up with rich kids, people that were a lot more richer than me. My mom grew up like them. My mom grew up rich, but she fucked up her life, right? So yeah, love came, they do that, like rich kid fall in love with the poor guy, and like the whole this whatever romantic story, right? That's like our country's, what do you call it, genre? No, not genre. Well, that is the genre of, used to be, for love life. It's always a rich kid falls in love. Either he fall in love with a poor girl, with the girl that his parents hate, and then he started living a poor life, blah blah blah. Anyways, but my mom, you see, since it's like you can't, there's a saying in America, right? You can't take the girl out of the hood, but you can't take the hood out of her. That shit is true. I mean, she can choose to not act a certain way, but your experience it's always gonna be with you. It's always gonna be with you. I know I have it. It comes out when it comes out, and I allow it. But there was a personality before me living in the hood that bypassed a lot of the personalities that could have ingrained in me when I was living in the hood, right? So I was able to comprehend and to neglect some things, and to just keep it moving, right? So we're talking about following what you want. So going back to the story, right? But my mom, yeah, like I said, you can't take the rich out of her, right? She did not, let's just say my food was better than my friends. My mom did not play when it came to our food. She actually made it. The maids didn't even made it. I remember growing up. She oversees everything that we take for school. Our school lunch was like her project, right? And I remember it comes like in 2 sections. We have like before lunch, and then for lunch it comes like in like 3 containers and shit, yo. Y'all motherfuckers in here don't know what I'm talking about. My American friends don't know what I'm talking about right now, because we have school lunch at school. We eat lunch at school here in America, right? But growing up until age 13, that's how I lived, right? So like I said, they started depending on me, and so my friends gang up on me, right? They knew. My friends knew my personality. Like I said, I've always been popular. I've always been looked at differently. And I love my country, because we are like psychologically, I swear to God, our psyche is on another level. I swear, I'm sorry, I can't believe I'm about to say this, but when I say I understand Hitler and why he thought like Germany was like, I can understand where the deriving point comes from. Like, that's how I feel about Ethiopians, and I know Cubans feel like that. It's just like, I don't know, but there's something. And I don't even take myself as Ethiopian. I take myself, I guess my bloodline comes from there, but as far as personality wise, I'm American, right? Because you become your environment, you become where you live. But like when I study it, I look at it as a, like how I have like countries that I am proud of for their certain history that they kept alive. So I am proud of countries. So to me, Syria. So like, for example, what I watch is like Sunny, the food channel, or Mark, and the traveling channels like what's his name, Abel Abraham, I can't think of a lot. All these YouTube traveling channels. Oh yeah, seek the truth, say yes to discomfort. Those are the channels that I watch. I can't think of but these are the things that I watch if you look at my YouTube. And it's like Know Thyself podcast, Jay Shetty. It's things like that I watch, right? So why did I mention that? Okay, we're rerouting. All right, we're going back to the story that I was telling. My friends ganged up on me. Oh yeah, why I think Ethiopians are special. We are very good. So our psychology is very different. That's why we get depressed a lot. And that's why like this cultural diversity and cultural clash makes the Ethiopian moms, like the older people in America, depressed. Like that's like a whole lot of seminar that I'm gonna share with the world. like cultural diversity, it's a whole lot of sickness that we need to heal in America, right? Like there's no longer like a connection with children and parents. That's also another disease that is creating a psychological effect. There's a language barrier. There's no longer understanding because the language they speak become different. That's how we became with my parents. It's like you start to it's like you outgrow your parents. Do you know how difficult that is? Like your parents used to be your gods and now like they ain't shit. It takes a lot for you to stay respecting your parents just because they were older than you. It takes a lot to respect people just because they're older than you. You know, I know so much. I like people that are in their 50s used to ask advice. I can give you a specific example. Like I like two people on top of my head. What was her name? This lady, Miss Sheila, a 52-year-old woman. She would ask me, Sion. So my boyfriend said this. First of all, it used to be very fascinating to me. Why are you 52 and you have a boyfriend? Why are you not in a serious relationship at this age? Right? That's how it used to be. But like I used to analyze everything, and I used to give advice. Like, and that way of thinking or that way of being started since I was young. So like I said, since I was young, my friends were like in 10th grade, 11th grade. Like back home, like there are schools, private schools used to be like the same. How is it in America? I had to think for a second. Yeah, like in America, how high school is separate, middle school is separate. The private schools in Ethiopia, some private schools have like it could be the same. They have their own separate buildings and separate lunch and things like that. But mine used to be, so I was elementary, so elementaries and high schools used to be together. So my friends used to be in high school. Like I used to eat lunch with them and everything. But this story that I'm actually talking about before, even I was younger than that school, my last school, right? But anyways, my friends would gang up on me, and then they snitched on me, right? So like I got caught by the teacher. So I got in trouble. My mom was like I had to bring my mom. So when you get in trouble, you have to bring a parent to school, right? My mom was freaking out, like, and I was freaking out too. And they told her, your daughter's not bringing food to school. Yo, from my mother, like Ethiopians will get it right now. Actually, black people also will get it. You know how by the way, I resonate with your parents. If you're black, like my African American friends, I resonate with my childhood resonates with their parents because, you know, I grew up in the third world. So like the games we play, the toys that we had and everything, my friends make fun of me because I'm from the same generation as their parents, right? Like with 2 channels and shit. That's what I came from. This is gonna be funny. But so yeah, I resonate with their parents. So like, you know how back in the days, how old people, they like exaggerate, oh Lord, oh Jesus Christ, oh my God. That's how like Ethiopian parents exaggerate. So like for my mom, especially being the queen of exaggerator, right? When they tell her that you're like that's like the, how can I put it? It is the worst of the worst situation she could be, right? That's because she sends us the most expensive school. She does not play. I appreciate her for that. It truly helped me. It guided me to who I am today and to help me shape my personality in America, right? Because I went to these private school. It truly helped me. I didn't act like the rest of the Ethiopians that I was friends with or that I was surrounded by when I arrived in this country. But anyways, none of them act like me. Perhaps that's why I never... Anyways, that's another route. So yeah, and when they told her, like, she almost had a heart attack. That was actually the first time I will never forget. She didn't just smack me upside head, because that's the type of, like, that's how crazy my mom was, right? But for the first time in her life, she was just so curious. She asked me in front of him, she was like, what are they talking about? Sion. She just looked at me, she was like, what is going on? She was just so curious for the first time in her life. My mother is like, you did what? Like, what? Boop! Like, smack you upside down and ask questions later, right? I would never forget this. And I was just like looking at her, I was shaking, right? I was like, and I told him. The director was like, oh my God. The assistant director was like, oh my God. The assistant director like always used to give me a hard time because I'm always late. That my shoes are always like, I get in trouble because I would stop and get my shoes fixed. There are people in Ethiopia like that would fix your shoes if it's like ripped or whatever, because I always make my mom buy me shoes that are like for grown-ups, right? And I play as a kid, like, you know, like I would have like a strap-ons. Those are the type of shoes, and my mom was so crazy. I love her for that. Again, she truly helped me for who I am. And that was the only thing I fought for as a child, my shoes. Shoes, you have to buy me shoes. I was addicted. It was like I become like a different person. And thank God she allowed me to be myself, right? It was, I always talk about it, it was a sheet of paper, good ink. It has to be a good pen, even pencil. You guys, this was before the age of 13. That's when my transition happened to America. 13, almost 14, right? Even my pencil, I used to use lid, like these, it's like you have to buy it from a stationery. Like, it was expensive, let's just say that. Like one of those needles they come in like for architecture's use. I was not using like a regular pencil. But then again, I was not even a rich. I went to school with the rich, okay, growing up. But there are certain things that I allowed. And this takes me to the example that was given on Think and Grow Rich. My mama said she want that 50 cent right now, right? And what was it? His uncle Darby, it was like, he said, it was like he was possessed. He stopped talking to me and he took out the 50 cent out of the drawer and he gave it to that little girl. And then he was like, what power did that little girl possess in that second to make him act that way? And then he said, my uncle is the most stubborn human being that I know. And that's the only thing I can tell you. My shoes, right? First of all, it was my $20 that my dad always sent a separate letter for me, right? It's not like she worked for it. But anyways, she could have, you know, said no. She must be silly too. Like, why would you buy a 2 strap-on, slip-on slippers for a 10, 11-year-old that's gonna run around and break it, right? So the assistant director she was always curious about me. She always used to say, your parents are crazy for buying you these shoes. But she loves it. It's so cute though, right? She was standing there, she was looking at me like, Sion, you have to eat first, right? My mom looked at me for the first time. I didn't get in trouble, right? I think she even cried with me. I don't know. She was just like, okay. But right when I got home, I remember I had to talk, and I don't know what happened with that story. I don't know if she started. She gave me an idea. Whatever it is that you guys don't eat, you collect it after school and then you give it to them. And this is actually funny. After that, of course, you know, I stopped doing that. And because of me, in the morning, they started checking our lunch, and then they would check it after lunch that it must be eaten. Like, we cannot take a full lunchbox. More than half of it needs to be eaten. That regulation happened because of me. Look at me. I was just a kid already making a difference, and I didn't even know it. Oprah said on Soul Sunday, don't hate your troubles, because your obstacles are your seasoning when you tell your story later on. I can't believe I'm at that point already, right? Thank God I don't have to be in my 50s to talk about that. Thank God I followed what I want seriously. Thank God I took myself seriously. It's because of that I'm able to connect to my true essence, to the lifestyle that I want. Because there is power in your preference, as Abraham Hicks reiterates. There is power in your preference. There is power. That is the only way the Creator can intervene and creates through you. You just have to start from what you want. Michael Beckwith said, my favorite human being, he's like a walking earth angel. When there is no way, a way will be created. You just have to start where you're at. What do you want? Because that's where living starts. That's when. Right? And we've been dead since age 4 and 5. Parents can't afford what you want. because you thought you were only meant to ask your parents. You thought only your parents can give you what you want. That's what parents need to understand. If you choose to produce this, that's the trend, like I said. Teach your children you don't know shit. Teach your children you ain't shit. Be honest with them. Tell them, my child, I have no idea. I don't know any more than you. I don't know any more than you. Set them free, please. Set them free before the age of 10 so they can start connecting, looking for solutions for themselves, because the children are resourceful. That is where their power is virgin and pure and strong. Let them connect to their spirit animal. Let them connect to their interests. Let them connect to their talents. Let them set us free. Set them free so they can help you invest in your children. That's the least you can do nowadays. If you're working at a job, don't stress them. Do whatever the fuck you need to do and be in your best behavior when you're around them, because they are soaking on your energy. That's why history is repeating itself. Children do not learn by words. You tell them something else, but you turn around and do something else. You have to practice what you preach. That's what psychology taught me. Teenage suicidal is number 1 in America right now. That eats me. That like bothers me. Teenagers, they haven't even started living yet. Social media has become the source of their being. The quality of life equals to how many likes you have. People going out their way to take pictures just to post it, just to get likes. Oh my God, they're troubled. Oh, what a rat race. This is a rat race. Jesus. We're talking about following what you want, no matter how silly it might sound. There is power in your preference, because God is silly. God is serious. God is the engineer. God is Chris Brown. God is Beyonce. God is Albert Einstein. God is the chemist. God is the biologist. God is Viola Davis. God is Denzel Washington. God is the artist. God is the painter. God is Da Vinci. God is Know Thyself. God is everywhere. God exists in everything. You choose to cultivate its power. It doesn't make you. You see, negative power is so poor, right? It's so poor. That's how I picture if the devil really exists. It's like, it's always hungry, right? Because he's empty. It's empty cup. I mean, his cup is, there's a hole. So it's always like waiting for us, like calling us. I mean, it's like ready. God's power is like chill. You have to go to it. That's how I look at it. And it comes in the subtle voice. If you take the time and you always ask, no matter how dark, if you really, really question what you truly want, is you want out of that darkness. You want out of wherever you're at. I'm not telling you to swallow your children like Hercules, no. There is a place. When there is no way, a way will be created, as Michael Beckwith said, right? Wherever you're at, how much mess you have made, it doesn't fucking matter. You just have to make a decision. Oh, you are a child. It doesn't matter if you're 50 or 54 years old and you are living the regular society acceptance normalized, like the mortgage, the children, you are the grandparent, As long as you know you are not living what you want, follow it. What do I want? Oh, this is what I want. It's not how is that going to happen. That's crippling you. It's, wow, it must be nice. How would it make me feel? Right? If your dream was to be a gymnast and then now you're 54 years old and you're fucking obese and, right? Why did you like, perhaps you could be a fucking motivational speaker for a gymnast. You might be here to awaken the obese girl that is 9 years old, that she can actually turn her life around. When she sees you, she's not gonna wanna be like you. Trust me, you can help her. So this girl can have a high school, a cheerleader life, a boyfriend, like a good experience. Especially right now, I swear to God, we should not judge. It doesn't matter how silly your wanting sound. God has a reason why. Because we have made so much mess right now. Incarnation is like just pushing these talents out there, right? It doesn't fucking matter who you are, what you are. It just wants people that are willingly offering their service to the universe. If you're open, it will use you. When the student is ready, the teacher will show up. Right now, information is everywhere. You just have to ask, what do you want? But the moment you ask, it doesn't stop, right? You have to follow through, because it's time for the remembrance now. You're gonna remember who you are. You're gonna surprise yourself, like, oh my gosh, you're gonna remember something that you used to love. It's gonna take you on memory lane. Oh my God, this is who I used to be. What happened to me? I met people in my life that had like forgotten themselves for their relationships. Like, she's like in her mid-30s and doesn't even know. Like, oh my God, it's just the smallest things that she can do, but because her brain was washed that a man is supposed to do like things like this, like that. Now he is out of her life. It's like this. To me, it was like the silliest thing. Okay, you guys don't judge me, right? Let me give you one example. For example, we went to Jiffy Lube to get her oil changed. I was like, you could just go to Jiffy Lube, right? So we went there. She's like, oh, okay. Yeah, I was like, okay. I don't judge. Like I said, I'm a very fast learner. All right, I'm like, okay, yeah, it's okay. You could do it, right? But then again, I forget and I become like child self because I don't know how to stress for that long. And she couldn't drive on the thingy, like the tires. And I was like, it's okay. I had a hard time in the first time too. But she took it to the heart. She reminded me of my mother. Like the way she like how negatively she talked to herself. I was like, oh my gosh, she took me down to memory lane. This is how I grew up. Like how mom talks to herself. How the smallest thing would just hits out, like self-hate, like that conversation is like, woo. That's how I learned relationship is with yourself. Life is relationship with yourself. How quality your relationship is with yourself is going to equal how quality your life is with others, right? But I was like, yo, chill out, it's okay, you just haven't done it. Like, she took it to like, he did this to me, it's because of him, he crippled me because of him. I'm like, I've been living in this country for how long now? I'm acting like I'm FOB, like I just came to the country. I can barely speak the language, like, because I haven't blame. I was like, oh my god, it's okay, you can find yourself, just start where you're at. It's okay, start where you're at. It's all about knowing what you want. Okay, yes, all that shit, let it out. Okay, you blamed, okay, let it out. All right, go to the park, let it out, and listen to yourself. Now what? You're gonna hear yourself. If you're gonna do that with another person, you will never find the answer. That's why I said, fuck it, I am not going to be a therapist in my last semester. That's probably why that bitch gave me B plus. She's like, be realistic. What was her comment? I like your writing, but your dream, is it really I wrote about compassion, and I was like, until compassion isn't instilled as the first behavior in a human mind, the world would not change, and therapy is not gonna work, because we're talking about the same problem. You're making that person feel like they have the right to talk about the problem. So you're like helping them cultivate energetically that pattern where they go back and dwell on that victim state, right? Fuck that. No, my ancestral lineage kicked in, right? I came across the information. What was it? I forget what part of Africa the genocide happened. How they kicked out American psychologists out of the country because they thought they wanted to drive them mad. They wanted them to go crazy. They thought they were intentionally driving them crazy because they wanted them to talk about the problem again and again. So they thought, oh shit, they are here to fucking like wipe out the rest of the country, right? because the way they deal about problems is like they have a dancing ceremonial, like a beautiful way of how they release energy to the sky, to the air, connectedness to the four, right? Like fire, water, air, earth, right? Like they have the connection, their own ceremonial culture that they follow, right? And yeah, I came across the information like that, and a lot that I had to discover myself and really truly find out myself. Do I really believe in therapy? Because for as long as I can remember, I wanted to be a psychiatrist, and earlier I forgot my shout out to Mrs. Carr, my English teacher. She cultivated my journey, my interest in wanting to be a psychiatrist and a teenage psychiatrist, because I thought I understood enough to help my friends, because it's starting from that age. I heard when my friends complain, I already knew the solution, and I helped them. My friends listened to me. Like I said, my friends are always like older than me, right? For the first time when I came to America, I started hanging out, because in America it's like if you're 10th grade in the same age, same area, right? So age difference still became like, my friends were like seniors, close friendship continued to be 3 years difference in college while I was still in high school, right? Anyways, yeah, I wanted to be a psychiatrist before I even knew how to spell psychiatrist. And she was very intrigued in that. She introduced me to her friends. They loved it. They helped me, right? Helped me as a moral support. Until my senior year, my association changed and I became team model. I guess I had to also cultivate that side of me, like my fashion designer self. See, I wasn't only, because you need time, because my designing brings me fun. Designing shoes brings me truly fun. I truly get high when I go shoe shopping. It's like smoking marijuana. I swear to God, it truly makes me high going shoe shopping. I act the same way as when I smoke weed. You know what I mean? Especially luxury. When I go to Louis Vuitton store, I feel like, I don't give a fuck what the fucking sales associates says, But anyways, yeah, the point we're making is that following what you want, especially in this generation, no matter how silly it might sound, there's a reason for it, because the universe is gonna try to reach us in however way. And right now, suicidal rate for teenagers is high, so how, like, the silliest the better. The silly it is, the better. So just appreciate what you want, because there's a secret in it, right? Follow that voice within you, because you are the key to someone else. Just like there's someone else's information out there that is going to be the key to your own golden gate. We learn through information. There was enough information left for you, but you also have to take everything with a grain of salt, because again, everyone does the best on the level of their mentality. That is my life's motto. So then, even in the past history, mistakes were made. So how can I learn from it, and how can I create? How can I make it better, whatever it is that exists? It's not even about starting over all the time. If it already exists, how can you make it better? Go help those that are already doing and that are stuck. What is your interest? There's a key. You carry a key. And for as long as we are not looking within, we're going to be haunted by we're going to be enemy. It's like self-battle. Peace. No amount of external love, affection, money can bring you self-fulfillment. That's why you see the richest person committing suicide, right? To me, the suicidal of Kate Spade, I remember, I can tell you exactly how I felt that day. I was at work, Holiday Inn. God bless my surrounding at that time. Both my co-workers, my manager and the assistant, they were both white. They were looking at me. They were like, oh, I love them. They were like, this is hard for her as a designer. They have respect, no judgment, right? I've always been around that kind of people, so I don't know how to feel in the victim state of mind. I'm sorry, life did not bring me to feel that way, and there's a reason for that. My favorite human being is like Abraham Lincoln and fucking John F. Kennedy. Oh my God, how my heart aches for John F. Kennedy, like his history. What? right? I remember they allowed me to sit in the back smoking my weed the day that Kate Spade died. I will never forget. And I also remember Robin Williams. I was like, what the fuck? I was fucked that day. It was a very profound timing. You see, like, moving to Vegas, attracting like friends, like strippers that were living like in a $2,000 apartment, shopping for perfume every Friday. Their eyeliners is Dior and fucking Prada. Their eyeliners, bruh. Their underwear. Their what? Like, what? Like, every week they shop at a luxury store. See, because the universe know how much I'm connected to fashion. I needed to learn. And then I needed to learn how being desperate for money is gonna make you pay. Right? These bitches are on drugs all the time when we are hanging out during the daytime, and they could not get enough of me. I was a banker. I was working at Wells Fargo. See how the universe aligned me with the right people? Oh, Sion. Where's Sion? They're like, they would wake up at 10 a.m. That's when they wake up. I wake up at the same time on the weekends anyway, right? We would meet up, get our nails done, decide what we're gonna eat. Vegas is beautiful. Like, it's like a culture experience. We would get something to eat, get our nails done, hair done, whatever it is that we do, get a massage. And then here comes the nighttime. I go to my readings and my movies, and they go to strip. That was our lifestyle. But they were high on drugs. I only smoked marijuana. They had to take Adderall. They had to take a lot of drugs. A little bit of coke here and there to keep them up. Right? They were like accumulation of walking drugs, basically. But my best friend, one of them, right? She somehow come across to the secret. You see how the universe plays with you? The first time she told me, oh yeah. We were like, what? She said, when I'm in the shower, I visualize for the universe to send me a good, European man from Germany that spends a good quality money. I'm like, what? What? Like, what? Right? Like, because I'm like such a Christian, judgmental person. What? Oh my God. There's also God that lives in the stripper. God is everywhere. God is everywhere. God is in everyone. It's all about who chooses to connect with it. And for human beings, we come with responsibility because we must connect with it. If not, we would not be genuinely happy and good with life. Good relationship with life can only comes from that place. When you are serving your purpose, meaning serving what you want. What you want. Look how beautiful life is. You're living what you want. Living what you want is living your purpose. Because the universe knows it's only when you want it, you're going to want to get up in the morning and keep going every day. When you love it, no matter the emotions, no matter the mood, you would still go and create. An artist knows that. Whatever the mood, we actually go and use it. If I'm feeling that, like right now, my celebrity crush that I feel like he's my twin flame, missing him would get like as a person that it's like when you go in that la la land, like, oh my God, I miss him so much that it gets depressing. I would get up. Oh, guess what? I started writing love songs now. It's a whole lot of new dimension that opened up for me. Cultivate your delusion, baby. Cultivate it. As long as you're not danger for society. That's what I got. Because it's the delusions that created the greatest things in the world. I was fascinated reading about the Wright brothers. I'm also from Columbus, Ohio. Go Bucks. So I was like, yeah, I'm proud, right? Ohio has a whole lot of different air. Bruh, it's a golden air in Ohio. If you know how to smell it. But I was reading about it, and it's like, even the culture, how connected culture used to be back in the days. The way people talked and everything, right? I mean, gossip and everything was like the same. right? Reading about it reminded me of watching the drama from my country, like about gossips and shit. How people were gathering around, driving the lady, their mom nuts. It's like, oh my God, her children thinks they can fly. And it's not one of them, it's both of them. It's both her sons are nuts. How sad is that? How sad is that? Oh my God. I read that she had to move, relocate away because she couldn't handle people's. Imagine, look at us now, like reading that in 2015 was like, and I was like, my dream job at that time was a flight attendant. I became it, by the way, and it turned out to be, it was not. I hated it. It made me hate life, I tell you. But it should introduce me to myself, introduce me how much I must spend time with myself. It taught me, okay, for me, a successful life is a life that I get to sit still for a long period of time in a inspirational place, which is a place, a balcony made out of my favorite rocks and about 6, 7, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 trees in front of me and a garden, right? I would never forget listening to Oprah's interview. I wondered what the ladies do with lunchtime. Baby, I used to too. I love calling out because there's something at 3 o'clock and at noon. There's this quiet, settled energy. I think that's the time where people just give in. The energy just like settle. Like the masses just give in to their reality. They can't even complain. Here comes 5 o'clock, they wake up, they're ready, they're agitated, they're ready to clock out, they're just ready. There's like 10 minutes left, they're feeling it, they're ready to get the fuck out, like they can't breathe. Woo! 5:15, they're out of that building, okay. They're like all over the place. Hurry up and you get home, you hurry up and... You hurry up and you make dinner, and you hurry up and you take a shower, you hurry up and you feed the children, you hurry up and you go to sleep, you hurry up and you go to sleep, you hurry up and you wake up, you hurry up and you get to brushing your teeth, and you hurry up and get to your favorite mug, right? I love Joe Dispenza's experience, but just a repetition of life, right? Anyways, how did I get there? Shit, I just lost my thought pattern. We're talking about following what you want, because that's the key. I don't know what it is, and I'm sitting like, I see Tyrese, there's Obama and her kids, and we're sitting on this balcony. I don't know what it is. It's like, if you're comfortable to talk in front of him, you're comfortable to talk in front of everyone. That's what I'm sensing. I'm going with it, whatever it is. Whatever example life is gonna throw my way, I'm gonna take it, I swear. Because whatever helps me to embody my true selves. Because right now, embodying my true selves feels so foreign. It feels like I'm being crazy because I'm losing my mind. I'm rewiring my subconscious. But the truth is, what I practiced and what is printed in me is actually false. It's not my story. This isn't a story that I am the main character. I need to rewrite this novel. I need to rearrange the characters. I'm the main character. Right? That's what following what you want means. And like I said, it doesn't fucking matter about age. That's why death is interesting. If you're alive, there's a reason. You are a child. For God, you are a child. The 5-year-old and the 84-year-old and the 50-year-old, the 50-year-old and the 40-year-old, we are all children for God. Read my book, Subtract the First 15 Years of Your Age. Right? Start where you're at. That's the whole point. That's the key. How I feel right now, no amount of money can make me feel how I feel right now. And right now, as I'm sitting, yes, this is my first manifestation. I believe the architecture in my room that I'm looking at. I love this high ceiling condo, right? God bless Vizcaya. But I am ready for the Eiffel Tower view apartment. Right? But I don't sit here in Vizcaya and hate Vizcaya and vibrate from a tiring frequency and move into my Eiffel Tower view apartment. That's not how it works. Right? I must bring back the desire place when I used to desire where I'm at today. Louise Hayes always talk about, if your current desire was your reality, what would your desire be? That's where your now should be. So there's always a place that we want to be, and I believe that's the beauty of our creation. What do you want? It could be a variety of things. What do you want? Just follow it. That's it. I believe I weaved and precisely connected the frequency wave that I opened up and shared everything. I know I was all over the place, but what I'm learning from my soul tribe now, when the student is ready, the teacher will show up. That is actually, I'm the statistic. No, I am the, what is it? What was it? The hypothesis? And then forget it. I'm a living proof of that. I am a living proof of, when the student is ready, the teacher will show up, and then the teacher will disappear. When the student becomes the master, the teacher will disappear. I am a living proof of that. Right? You just have to start where you're at. And yeah, like I said, I was all over the place, but I believe I covered up everything. I can feel it energetically. 1 hour and 26 minutes. Wow. Well, you're blessed if you get to listen to this.